Just a few seconds for demolition experts to blow up the 300-foot structures. And there was no repeat of the damage to houses caused by similar explosions 10 years ago. But local residents did complain that they hadn't been given enough warning of what was going to happen.
The Portishead chimneys have been a landmark on the Severn estuary for nearly 40 years. Today, local people gathered as word spread that they were about to be demolished. But curiosity was mingled with concern. 10 years ago, several houses were damaged by flying bricks as an earlier chimney was blown up. Some residents said not enough notice had been given of today's explosion.
There was a promise at that time that the one thing that would come out of it would be that when the further chimneys were demolished, that all the local people would be informed. And that just has not happened in this case. In fact, it didn't happen until 10 o'clock this morning, and that was only after a great big fuss, really, that I'd made because local residents weren't notified.
The contractors, T. Cox Dismantlers, said most householders had been happy with the warning given. All vantage points were taken as the time fixed for the double blast approached. At 3 o'clock precisely, it happened. A few seconds later, it was the second one's turn. In just 20 seconds, the 300-foot chimneys had been reduced to rubble. No outside damage was caused, and as a thick fog of dust descended over the town, Portishead people reflected on the passing of an era.
Part of, history gone, really, isn't it? It makes you feel full up, doesn't it? Choked.
I reckon it's very well planned. Very well planned. I mean, there's no spread, there's no debris come over here at all. And look for yourself. I think it's a good job.
I think it's quite sad, really, that it's gone, but it's got to go, so it went very well.
Destroyed today belonged to the Portishead B power station, which opened in 1955 and closed in 1982. The whole site, owned by Powergen, is now being cleared in a 3-year operation. Then there are plans to build houses here. Bob Constantine, HTV News, Portishead.
Well, it certainly doesn't look the same anymore. More use in the region now, and up to 30...
Changed rather dramatically this afternoon. The last chimneys on the old power station have gone. Built in the 50s, the 2 power stations at Portishead could supply half Bristol's electricity. By 1981, they were redundant, and the A station was coming down. But the demolition went terribly wrong. Debris showered onto nearby roofs and gardens, and although no one was hurt, locals were promised it would never happen again. Today, a decade on, and the row blows up again. Locals accused contractors preparing to demolish the remaining chimneys of failing to warn people properly.
What has happened this morning is somebody from the demolition company has in fact run round as many houses as he can get hold of to try and notify residents, but this didn't happen until after 10 this morning. And that's when people have gone off to work and their animals are left at home, and anybody who's sick in bed won't have been notified.
The contractor Cox Dismantlers would only say they'd followed procedures.
And everything has been done within the light of the law. And from that point of view, everything is satisfactory.
Is it really appropriate to
I'm sorry,
tell people so?
I'm going to carry this interview on no further.
Possible danger hadn't deterred some locals from getting the best view. This time, the demolition was textbook. Across the harbour, a different view. But no matter where you were watching, a moment to savour.
An old era bites the dust there. On our school uniform.